Coach Abbs is looking forward to the border brawl this week against Adrian. But before we get there, let's look back to last week's epic defensive battle. Scoreless at halftime against Center. Your defense really stepped up.
They did. They played extremely well. Guys were flying to the football and were in a bad mood when they got there. Played extremely physical. Had great coverage. A few breakdowns here or there in the first half, but then we played really, really good football in the red zone. And, that's the sign of a great defense, and I think that's what we have this year.
How about they get down to the 1 yard line, first and goal, Kyle Naif with the stuff, and that just, your defense really fed off that energy.
They did, and Kyle makes a big play, and then we make a big third down stop. They try a field goal, we get a piece of it, and just an outstanding performance, really for 4 quarters from our defense.
So the defense plays well. Offensively, you don't have Zane Kirby. How did you mix and match from a running back standpoint?
Yeah, well, we worked in a lot of different guys at running back. Jordan Watson got some time in a backup role during the game. DJ Alpha got some time. Just guys that have been around the program for a long time and stepped up and we really had some nice runs. They've been working really hard in practice, competing for playing time with the absence of Zane, and have really stepped up when needed.
You brought Brett Kaler in late in the game, and Brett led the team down on a scoring drive, and he can sling it. He brings a lot of passing ability to the offense, and that seemed to work for your team when you needed it the most.
Yeah, it did, and he did a great job when he came in. Alex had a lot of people in his face the entire day, and he got hit quite a bit. And when that happens, you don't want your starting quarterback to take too many big hits before your rivalry game against Adrian. So we went ahead and made the change, and we did a good job. I mean, it led a scoring drive. Were the benefit of 30 yards of penalties, and we got out of a couple of bad choices and passes, but with a little bit of luck. But overall, I thought Brett came in and did a great job.
Price is the guy going forward, at least to start against Adrian, and you look at this Bulldog team. They've scored a lot of points the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They've got a 2-game winning streak. And a little bit of confidence coming into Angola on Saturday. Since I've known you for 3 years, you light up when we talk about Adrian. It's a game that's they're all important to you, but this one really counts. And for homecoming, you couldn't have a better opponent. Oh,
no question. This is always a huge game. It doesn't matter what time of the season it is. Doesn't matter if it's homecoming or not. I can remember our first victory against them, which was in overtime back in 2007, like it was yesterday. The uniform colors were a little different and everything else, but just an amazing overtime victory for the Thunder on that day. And you go to 2008 and some of the amazing plays that were made in that game to solidify a conference championship. And in 2010, we tip a pass at the end of the game on 4th and 8. Chris Eichmann tips a pass, and we're conference champs. So there've been a lot of magical Trine Adrian moments, and we're hoping that this will be another one.
I think one of the cool things about your job is after kids graduate. Last home game, Simeon Washington was at the stadium enjoying the game. You guys go on the road and see former players all the time. You have hundreds of former players, young men now that have gone on and started their careers, gotten married and settled down, and still want to be part of what we're doing here at Trine, still part of this Trine family. That's got to be special every time you get to see one of those kids.
Oh, it is, no question. I saw a former player in Danville, Kentucky this past weekend. I mean, they're everywhere, right? And that's one of the things that keeps you going, and one of the reasons that you do coach. When you start to get a little bit more gray in the hair, is and a little bit older, those relationships you have with the kids currently, and then the relationships that you form with players in the past, and how you can go years without seeing each other. Yeah. And then, as soon as you see each other, it's it's a high five and a hug, how you doing, and it's great. It's just an awesome part of the coaching profession.
Non-conference schedule is over. I know all of the goals that you guys set forth for the season, most of them are still out there.
Oh,
Conference
yeah.
season getting ready to start. I got to think practice, the pads are popping a little bit louder, the enthusiasm and the intensity just a little bit harder as we get into the MIAA season. And as a coach, this is what you guys live for, isn't it?
And no question, and we set the schedule for this year and the next few years going forward. We created a much more competitive non-conference schedule. We went out and looked for difficult opponents to play with athletic quarterbacks and good athletes on both sides of the ball. And I think it showed what we need to work on and what we need to improve on. Playing our first game this year and winning by a lot sure was fun. Everybody gets excited. We get to play a lot of people, but it really doesn't show us what we need to work on. By upping our game and playing some really good football teams, I believe it'll make us better in the conference run.
Trine University versus Adrian in the Border Brawl on homecoming. 1 o'clock Saturday at Zollner Stadium. Coach, the best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot. It's going to be a ton of fun.